Hey gang, it's me. Um, so this week has been a hell of a week between sicknesses and financial setbacks and just a whole bunch of shit, honestly. So there's no show this week, but Ace did call in and send in the Captain Ron report. So I wanted to make sure that you guys got that at least. We'll be back next week. Just hang in there. Uh, Part of the big reason we didn't have a show on Friday, other than us being exhausted and just stressed out, was the fact that we weren't sure whether or not we were going to have power. Um, we lost power here for about 2.5 days. It went out Wednesday night and didn't come back until Friday evening. So we weren't sure if it was going to hold or what we could do. And then my guests, they had their own hiccups that came up. So it was just better to bag it and spend the night relaxing. Plus, it was Ollie and I's wedding anniversary. So we vegged in bed and watched TV. So, but anyways, here's this week's Captain Ron report, and I will see you all next week for the Odd Pod with Jerome Lil, which that should be a very interesting story. Anyways, thanks for at least checking this out, and again, we'll see you next week.
Alright, well, just keep her pointed due north. Don't bump into anything. I'm gonna get some shut-eye.
Captain Ron!
Hey, all you oddies, this is Ace, your co-host for the Odd Pod on TabDetroit.com. Here with Captain Ron, and we're back with another Captain Ron report. The last you heard from us, we was at a rest area taking a break on the Texas-New Mexican border. After we woke up the next morning from that rest area, we proceeded across the border out of Texas into New Mexico. And then shortly after we crossed into New Mexico, we were promptly met by a big sign that said, "Border Patrol inspection ahead. Be prepared to stop." So we kind of gave one another a side eye and nothing was said, and we moved on down the road and kept looking, and pretty soon another sign saying the same thing, and we started getting a little worried. And then we come across cones across the freeway leading into this checkpoint that was covered, had a Humvee sitting there, 6 military-looking guys, Border Patrol, heavy guns, and they were pulling everybody over and talking to them. So we pulled in, got in line with everybody else, and they spent about a minute and a half talking to the car that was there in line, waved them through. We pulled forward, and they interviewed the guy in the car in front of us for about a minute and a half. And we was getting our story straight, talking to one another as what we should and shouldn't say and how we should handle the situation, because neither one of us has ever been stopped by the Border Patrol. So we pulled up there with a plethora of information, just waiting for the questions to start coming. And the guy looked at us, he looked at his partner, he looked back at us, and he said, "Is everybody in this cab a U.S. citizen?" And we're about visiting me and Rod both raised up at this point. "Yeah." And he said, "Move along and have a nice day." I was like, well, that was easy enough. So yeah, after we left the U.S. border and got out of there, we ended up heading all the way down to Texas, riding the border to El Paso, right next to the Mexican border. And we ended up for 2 days and 2 nights as part of a third day in the truck, and we ended up in Corpus Christi. Corpus Christi. Yeah, it's Christy and Corpus Christi. Yeah, the hurricane that just came in, we got a premium site, and paid premium prices for it, but everything there's on stilts, and the hurricane just came through. So when the hurricane came in, it flooded all the sewer system that's on this peninsula that the camp's on, and it flooded all the sewer out onto the ground. Well, when the water receded, the stank stayed. So yeah, when we pulled in and got set up, it was like, this place smells like raw sewage, and it didn't get any
For
better.
2 days, it smelled like raw sewage.
Yeah, it was right.
And it was an expensive lot, too. And margaritas was even more expensive. And margaritas was $7 for a little cup of margaritas. Then they pushed me down the stairs.
Nobody pushed you.
Somebody pushed me because I fell.
I wasn't fellows over there.
I didn't spill a drop.
No,
Not a drop.
had a lid on it, but we didn't spill a drop.
Almost went over the edge.
Yeah. Like I said, everything's on stilts there. But, yeah, the choice was stay in the trailer in the air conditioning because it's too damn hot to be outside without the breeze, and you sit out
Corpus
there.
Christi sucks.
It's
The ocean's polluted, shit all over everywhere, foam and stink.
But we did find refuge at the main office. There was a little bit of a peninsula, and there was a large cabana with the...
Oh, yeah, the
Yeah.
cabana was nice.
Yeah.
The one for that stink.
Well, it wasn't as bad there.
So it wasn't as bad as you hold your breath.
But the margaritas were much closer.
The margaritas help the smell a lot.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
Margaritas help everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, we found the margarita stand, and like we said, it was upstairs on these stilts. So we went up to get our first margarita. Captain Rod was coming down and was busy drinking his margarita and missed the last step. Almost went over the rail, and a couple people saw him. And
That didn't hurt much.
Over. it didn't hurt much.
It got better.
This one poor lady come running up and said, "I saw what happened. Are you okay?" Captain Rod looked at her without missing a beat and said, "I fall down a lot." She just went, "Oh."
When they don't know, it won't hurt.
Well, yeah, besides the stank, after the day we was leaving, it was better. And then we was leaving on an early Saturday morning, and I wanted to catch one more shower in the nice facility since we paid so much. And quiet hours from, like 10 o'clock at night till 8 in the morning. Well, Captain Ron's truck has got a fairly loud exhaust. It's a diesel. But we was all the way at the end of the camp, and I wanted to take a shower. Anyway, I was up at 4:30 a.m., and I said, well, I ain't going to drive through this park this early and possibly wake somebody up. So out of courtesy to the rest of the park, I waited until 6:30 on a Saturday morning, and I fired up the truck. I drove down to the main office, past all the other trailers, and I went and took a shower. Well, when I come back, one of our neighbors didn't like that I had left and dragged our lawn furniture out and blocked the driveway. So I had to get out and move all the furniture back up onto the lot before I could get the truck back in. But then we pulled out of there Saturday, which, like I said, it was buckle exactly. Yeah, Corpus Christi stank. It was expensive, and if it wasn't for the cabana
Gulf of Mexico
and margaritas, it would have really
Polluted.
been bad.
Trash floating over from Japan all over the beaches. Yeah.
Then we took off Saturday. We drove about 200 miles until we got to the Louisiana swamp at a park called Holbrook. And come to find out, the guy from ZZ Top that just died, Dustin Hill, he didn't die. He's running that camp. I'm telling you, dude looked just like him, beard and all. But we pulled up into this swamp-infested park, kind of hoping to find a spot. And nobody at the office, and we started driving around, and there was a couple people camped, and I saw a guy on a scooter, and I said, that must be our guy. So we pulled up there, and he said, what can I do you for? And I was like, we're looking for a couple nights, kid. He said, you got reservations? We was like, no. And he said, oh, man, in the office, I'll have to see if we can squeeze you in somewhere. So Captain Ron and him went back up to the main office and filled out the paperwork. I said, I take it we got a site. He said, yeah, for 2 nights. We pulled in. us and the other two campers that was there was the only people in there.
Yeah, and they left.
Yeah.
They all left, and we was the only ones in that whole freaking park of $12 a day with electric.
Yep.
We sat in the air conditioning because the alligators and the anacondas and the recluse spiders and the killer bees was. We had to leave. I gotta go. I ain't playing this shit. So we left and we're in Northern. Now we're in Northern.
Now you see what happened is when we got to Holbrook, it was basically in a swamp setting. So we was looking at where people were swimming, and it was dark, fast-moving water that just looked like it would have alligators in it. So we didn't want to swim there. So
There's cypress trees in it. Cypress trees is alligators.
So we looked at that and said, nah, we're not going to go swimming in that. So we didn't really know, so we wasn't going to take no chances. So we went back to the camper, turned the air on, and we was in there. So that night, I went to go outside to get some stuff out of the truck, and when I did, I saw something moving by the tongue of the trailer, and I looked, and it was a big light brown snake taking off.
Copperhead.
So
a freaking rattlesnake out by my trailer in the middle of the night. That's it. I didn't leave the trailer till we hooked up and got the frick out of Dodge.
As a lot of people know, Captain Ron really don't like snakes.
I don't like snakes and I don't like spiders, but I especially don't like snakes.
So after I saw the snake, I felt the need to at least warn him because I know some of the snakes are out there venomous. So I told him, which was a mistake.
So he looks up 7 deadliest things in
I was trying to make things better, so I looked it up.
Anaconda. In the water, go swimming. Hey, go swim and see how it is. Anaconda.
To find out what kind of things we should be aware of around here, which just brought up a seven deadliest
Mr. Encyclopedia.
in the world of here.
Coral snake. Yeah, coral snake. They like it. Be careful of the freaking recluse spiders that get in your blanket. Check your shoes. Look in there for a rattlesnake in the bed before you lay down. Oh, no. I gotta get back over to the woods. Not swamp. Woods. I ain't afraid of a black bear, but anaconda, I ain't wrestling one already.
So the next morning I got up and I went to go take my shower in the morning because I always get up.
I ain't getting out of nowhere.
Captain Ron wasn't leaving the cabin. He was done. He just wanted to pack up and go.
What the hell?
I got over to the showers and I walked in, and as I walked in, I see things running across the floor, and I was like, "What the hell is this?" And I looked, and it was little salamanders and little green frogs all over the bathroom running around. I went and got in the shower, and they were in there too. I was like, I'm surrounded by salamanders and frogs. So now I just
You're taking a shower in a freaking swamp. What do you expect? I went in there and was going to take a shit. There was a green frog in the toilet. I said, that's the end of this. I'm going to shit somewhere else.
So then after we had spent most of the day there, we ran into town to pick up some ice for the cooler.
And take a shit.
And I
ain't shit that no green frog.
So anyway, when we circled back into town, like I said, we was the only ones in the park, and it had been. And we saw a pickup truck down by where the swimming area, quote unquote, was. So Captain Ron headed down there, and I said, what are you doing? And he said, I'm going to go see what this guy's doing, if he's swimming, if he's doing what. And I'm looking in the pickup truck, and I see one guy sitting in the driver's seat. And the closer we get to the truck, all of a sudden, I see the second person pop up.
Oh, wow.
Captain Ron pulled right up to the side of this guy's truck and did motions for him to roll down the window.
The girl said something, started waving her face off.
So,
oh, no. I still didn't get it.
The guy rolls down his window. He's a dude.
You got an alligator in here?
About 45, 50 years old. And he's got a 20-something-year-old girlfriend sitting in his passenger seat, both looking like deer in headlights. And Captain Ron proceeds to ask him, are you from around here? And the guy was like, and the girl was like, don't look at him, don't look at him. And I said, we're from Michigan. And when we said we was from Michigan, he was like, tourists, campers, this is nobody. And Captain Ron says, we want to know if there's any alligators in this river. Is it safe to swim? Then you could see the relief come across both of their faces. But yeah, then we talked to them for a minute about alligators in the river, and it was fairly
He got
safe.
back to his blowjob.
Yeah, so he got back to what he was doing. We left him alone, but yeah, major interruptus there. That was pretty funny.
Oh, well.
So we packed up.
It again.
We packed up the next day, and we headed another 200 miles north to get away from the
Alligators.
alligators and snakes
Anacondas.
into the forests of northern Louisiana.
Northern Louisiana.
Yeah, we ended up at Lake Claiborne State Park in Louisiana. We got here today. Today? Yeah, we got here today. No, yes. No, today's our second day. We got here yesterday.
Oh, yeah, we gotta leave tomorrow.
Yeah, we take off again tomorrow. But we get to this 200 camping site park.
Yeah, it's got a beach, it's got showers and everything
All the
clean,
amenities.
taken care of by the Forest Service.
Oh yeah, it's just a beautiful.
And we're the only ones here.
And that's it. There's
It's 83 degrees and it's too cold for them to go camping.
yeah,
The locals.
200 sites and there's 8 campers besides us. And so we got this ginormous park all to ourselves. The only thing that's around us is deer keep coming up in the camps and moseying around eating the pine cones and whatnot. A lot of wildlife, but had a nice storm come through today. That was kind of fun to watch. But we got a 6,000 acre lake all to ourselves and a handful of people, and we hadn't seen anybody since yesterday. Had to go into the town of Homer today and pick up some supplies for we could take off tomorrow. But once again, we're going to head out. We're really not sure where we're headed. We're just headed northeast, I mean. Head out that way and see what's around the next bend. Sounds about it.
Yep. On the move again tomorrow.
Yep. So,
Louisiana's all right.
yeah.
And the parks is great, and especially the northern part. But down there in the south, alligator country ain't for me.
So anyway, we all hope you enjoy your weekend. And until next time, this is Ace and Captain Ron with another Captain Ron report. Peace.